13th floor. The 13th floor.
Don't you drink beer? This is a sham. This is all a sham.
Bread.
It's the #1 law school in the country.
You're a smart motherfucker. That's right.
I had no connections there. I got there by busting my tail.
Looks like me and Vincent caught you boys at breakfast. Sorry about that. Did you have it?
Beer. I still like beer.
You mind if I have some of your tasty beverage to wash this down?
Sometimes I had too many beers, but I did not drink beer to the point of blacking out, and I never sexually assaulted anyone.
You did. Yes, you did, Brett.
He is warm, friendly, unassuming. He's the nicest person.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Well, allow me to retort.
Right. I thought so.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 13th floor where the furniture isn't always the best, but the views are amazing. I'm your moderator, B. Jones. We about to get this thing cracked. My man, BJ in the building. What's happening?
Yes, sir. Everything's good, baby. Let's roll.
Let's roll. I got Reggie Noble. I'm sorry, not Reggie. Mike D in the podcast. What's going on, bro?
What it do, everyone? What it do?
Faison, the resident BFBG. What's happening?
What's going on, people? Glad to be back.
I know we miss you, man. You always had these in and out stages and hiatuses, and
Yeah, man.
Stay an extended stay in Jamaica. Don't let them lie to y'all, America. I've been in Jamaica this whole time.
Crazy time. I'll tell you about it if you ask later on, but I won't take the intro part too long. But yeah, I got stories.
For sure. DJ Barry B Fresh. What's going on, baby?
What's happening? You know, I'm out here rocking my good time. So everything is dynamite.
Anytime you need it.
Great shirt.
Absolutely. And last but not least, our man with the soundbite, Coach K. What's going on, bro?
What's happening? How you doing, man? I'm here. It's been a long time since we recorded at this time of night, but
I know, man. So we got to keep this thing energized and ready to go because you know us old folks on this podcast, man. It's about to
nah, man. I gotta get up and leave the house by 4:30 in the morning to get to the airport by 5:30. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, so you good, man? You can just stay up all night.
Exactly.
you do it.
Going to sleep. So we just gonna run this thing. It's gonna be the longest podcast we've ever done, America. It's gonna be
Marathon podcast.
Man, that's a serious question, though. Kara, do you go to sleep or do you stay up?
Nah, I go to sleep.
Yeah, I cannot. I will be. Every time I leave early in the morning, I stay up all night. I sleep on the plane.
But you'll
Really?
be up till like 2, 3
Yeah,
o'clock.
yeah.
Then talk about getting up at 4 o'clock. I mean,
No,
you're right in the middle of that
right.
cycle.
Yeah,
I'd rather still have 2, 4, 3 out. I'd rather nap. Even if I only got 30 minutes, I'm still gonna
sleep.
Yep.
uh,
And I'm gonna sleep on the plane. I'm a double dip.
I know myself. I ain't getting up.
I'm not. Once I go to sleep, I can miss it, and then I'm looking like, oh crap, I'm stuck wherever I'm at. I'd rather sleep in the airport, get there early.
But that plane sleep is just not where it's at neither,
Not
man.
the
I'm
same
not busy
at all.
Coach.
It's
So,
the same as sleeping 2 hours on wherever you at.
No, the hell it
It's
ain't.
not.
By
2
far,
hours in my bed is not 2
yeah,
hours.
I'm about to say 2 hours in
What
my
if it's
bed is like sleeping an eternity on a plane. Because sleeping on that plane and being all cockeyed and
Yep.
trying to cozy up to the
I
straight.
don't care what you do. Your neck is always in a bad position.
Always. I don't care what pillow you buy.
And
Nothing.
you're good to go.
And then as soon as somebody gets up to go to the bathroom, I'm like, oh, what you doing?
Yeah. And ruin everything.
Yep.
Yeah,
gotta-
and
It's out. You gotta know if you're gonna be sleeping. You get that window seat. That way you can just.
but that lean ain't really where it's at unless you got like the right jacket.
Yeah, and then you feel the plane vibrating.
Yeah.
But also, if I'm going to be on a plane for over 4 hours, I'm taking like a Z-Quil or like some type of. I'm faded out.
Oh, the stewardess. King, can I have another bottle, please? Thank you very much.
Find me a
I don't.
standing
The
bottle.
4-hour flights, I don't like. Yeah, but it's pretty much an hour going back and forth from here to Cleveland. So
Oh, that's nothing. I can't even really like.
Before you take off your landing.
I probably
Yeah.
say that. You got 3 good Wheezy songs and then you there.
They're rushing. They're rushing to give you beverage service.
Oh, sometimes they tell you don't get it.
You just get out of the water, maybe.
Yeah, you get biscotti and pretzels.
Hey,
Man, what airline are you flying?
American,
biscotti.
excuse me, biscotti or pretzels, not and.
I take the biscottis all
correct.
day. every day.
After a while, you get tired of eating them cookies.
Airplane biscotti is not what you think.
Shout out to my cousin John J. King Nut, make the airplane snack bags.
Oh, nice.
So he bagging them up in the Carter?
Bagging them up. Yeah.
Know somebody everywhere, baby.
I'm serious. 100% serious. 100% serious. He's proud.
Oh, man. So we heard the soundbite, man, from the recent hearings for your boy Brett Kavanaugh. I want to get you guys' take on the sad state of democracy that we see ourselves in. I thought that guy's his response was very hilarious because it was completely different from the Brett Kavanaugh that you saw up until that point. But what do you guys think about it, man? You think he's going down, or is he going to make it through?
I just don't understand how you're supposed to be taking the seat of the most prestigious, court of the land and have a clean demeanor and not worry about anything, and you get accused and you come out on an 11 and you ghost about 15 before you end. Like, I just can't see someone being able to handle, rules for the land and getting pissed off at the other judges and just in there going crazy. So you see yourself now, like, this is small. I mean, it's not a small thing, but like, a calm person can react better and usually get better pushback than someone coming in there that hot. Like,
it's no different than what I look at with law enforcement.
mm-hmm.
If your position is like, you're trained in order to hopefully defuse. I would hope that's what the training is supposed to entail, right? Is diffusing of situations and being able to create, something that's calm and let me figure out a way to rectify situations as opposed to always leading with violence, where it's when you see the first time that he's really being questioned in front of the world, he is rattled, he is heated, he is confrontational, he is all of these things that you're like, that's my worst nightmare to have to go into court and have to face. While being in court is not something you want to do, period, but to have the impression that the person you're going to be judged by, this judge is going to be such enraged person. It's not something I hope for, but it also is very eye-opening of what is already present, right?
Yeah, I saw the Saturday Night Live, and I'll just get the one. So much happened on that show that day. This is an insane episode. But Michael Che, during the news segment, he said if you apply for a job and they're asking you about sexual conduct and alcoholism, you're pretty much not getting the job. So, like, how are we sitting here going through the process and still asking where if you were going for a real job, you'd be already next out? So, just something to think about.
Listen, I got a couple things that I'm just like, what? First of all, you got a journal from 1982.
This motherfucker got a whole calendar, dog.
Written
high school.
Written in pencil.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so that's the first thing. Where do you keep this thing? Because
what storage unit do you have?
Right,
and it's still intact.
Like, you must have something that, like, at a certain temperature, a certain, like, kind of light.
It's an AC storage unit. Don't get it twisted. Shout out to Storage Mart.
2, how did it take you so long to read the definition of sexual harassment? Like, it took you forever. Like, I'm just like, man, like, if you make it and I have a case in front of you, well, it's going to be years before that goes to trial, because by the time you read all the facts and everything.
Think about those big, thick case files.
Right. We going to hit the statute of limitation. So, and then to finish it off, because I personally, I can't let this, it's a soap opera, man. I can't get wrapped up in this thing. Please go out and vote. If you haven't registered, please make sure you vote. And do your research before you vote. We need people that don't bring things that take this long to get done in front of us as the American people. That's all I got to say about that. I'm done.
I got to research.
Who?
It was brought up yesterday, that I need to go back and kind of before. So I'm putting it out there so those viewers who need to look at it themselves. So the thing about it was to push him through last week, even though they knew there was going to be there may be pushback. Of course, there was major blowback because of his stance and his position on a vote that's coming up at the end of September that he would have been confirmed by. That's going to benefit Trump and a couple other people on the back end. So all the justices are ruling on the case. So I haven't looked it up yet, but that's the latest thing I did see from. I want to say it was on CNN yesterday.
Do you know what the case is?
I'll look it up while we keep on going, but because I want to quote it directly. But that's the last thing I did hear.
Sounds surprised.
I'll put through for that to have him vote the affirmative in that case because it'll be confirmed by then.
It's just way too much shenanigans. Like,
that's why I say it's a sad state of democracy, man, because you got shenanigans on both sides. So that I think that the Democrats just have to play dirty at this point, which is just ridiculous.
But it's not so much that it hasn't been this way. I think the part of presidential life, so to speak, where it wasn't shenanigans was the Barack era. But other than that, it's just been shenanigans. So secondly, like, we've been spoiled by, like, all right, this guy's competent. Like, it's actually stuff going on. Wait a minute. Like, you think Reagan, the Bushes, like, everything presidential has been, Trump just kind of took it back to a whole different level of shenanigans. It's everybody getting involved now. It's crazy.
Absolutely. Absolutely crazy. I want to keep with the Saturday Night Live theme, though. Fresh, you said we had Ye on the Saturday Night Live, man. What was that like?
So, for those who got the opportunity to tune in, Kanye made another controversial, I guess, appearance is the best way to describe it. He was on there, of course, doing some music, and then afterwards he closed out the show with one of his famous rants where he came out wearing another MAGA hat, and so that's a Make America Great Again hat, of course. During the rant, he started speaking about how they tried to bully him backstage into not wearing the hat, which then led him into continuing through the rant of how pretty much his belief and stance on wearing the hat was about the fact that Trump has won, creates a piece of his belief that he too could win, because he talks about when he proposed that he was going to run in 2020, people like his smartest friends laughed at him. That's what he said. And seeing Trump achieve it makes him feel even stronger about the possibility that he can. And that's just a piece of, Kanye's overall free thought, ideals. He's always talking about ideals. That's one of his biggest points, but that it's all leading. That's part of his piece. Lead with love. And it was just a very interesting and controversial time to look at Kanye. He has pieces of, really coon, offensive thought processes. I mean, at the end of the day, when he's speaking and you are really blown away by the fact that he's out there in the MAGA hat period after everything that we've been able to witness and experience with that administration. But then he was actually on an interview today on TMZ, again wearing that hat. But then also one of the pieces he spoke about was that he wanted to, I think, abolish the 13th Amendment from the Constitution, which is the piece, of course, on slavery. But he brought up when he first said it, it sounded very like, well, what do you mean? But in having an opportunity to further define it today, he broke it down as, in that 13th Amendment, they abolished slavery, but you are allowed to be a slave if you are imprisoned. And right. So that's the why he wants to get rid of it, because that's what they are doing now. While they did abolish slavery, we're not picking cotton anymore. They still use it through the imprisonment of African Americans and everybody, you know what I mean, in society. So again, he has pieces that are gems, but then he leads a lot. While he always campaigns on, I guess, leading with love, he leads a lot with hype and controversy. And so it's hard to read past those shadows a lot when, your first interaction is almost a punch in the face, right?
So here's my thing, man. I really think Kanye got to kind of slow down a lot. Because I think for him to even go on that presidential thing, I think it's a play on the intelligence of black people, because I think that's why he would think he would win the vote versus, a Trump who did it and played on the intelligence of the downtrodden and less fortunate of his race and actually got in there. But some of the things that Kanye is doing and saying, I love Kanye. I love things that he says. I don't love some of the things that he says, but it's too much of a distraction. I can't
look. To me, I have no. Kanye is not a politician, right? So
he's not.
To me, who am I to tell any person how to act, move, be what they want? He is going to be Kanye, and he is going to do what he does. And genius is a stone throw, a sliver away from being a psychopath, right? And so there are going to be moments that are going to be confusing, and there are opportunities to weed out and pull out those potential gems in what he's trying to express and in the points of view he's trying to bring across. So it's always I guess at the end of the day entertaining to sit back and see how the cards fall, I guess.
Yeah.
Entertaining, yeah, but I mean, I just want him to make music, man. And just I don't know, just be a silent leader or something like that.
But you got to realize that's no different than that lady telling LeBron just play basketball, just shut up and dribble.
But what the difference is we talking about Kanye, who maybe 20% of the time makes sense, versus a LeBron James who just opened a school and
who are you to defy what the
hold on, because right now Kanye was talking about on the what's the show, TMZ. He went a good 20 minutes about what he's doing in Chicago and how he's going to help them get rid of gang violence, and he's opening up like warehouses, universities, and he's doing those things. And he went through a lot in between the chaos. So if you just listen to what he was saying and just like listen without like blocking your ears for a second because he got crazy, you would hear that he has some good things he's going to be putting out there. But you got to dig deep through all the shenanigans that he talks first to really hear that, oh, he's actually going to do some cool things and something that makes sense. But why did he say that first?
Exactly. So, and that's my thing. Like, I know Kanye will do great work. I know he with the has in Calabasas and the factory he's trying to. I don't know much about the foundation he has in Chicago, but when we talking about, I get what he's trying to do, spread the love with Yandi and everything else. But when you have, you lose a lot of credibility when you make some of the misstatements that he makes. So I feel like if he was able, and we all know he can't, but if he was able to slow himself down just a little bit and focus on those things, like what you mentioned, Faison, I think he could be a lot more effective in that, right? I just don't want to see him become president. I don't think he's any more stable than our current president.
Do you think that's what fired him up? It's almost like you always hear you say that Trump inspired him. Like, okay, well, this dude can do it.
If he can do it,
well, way before Trump even became president, he had, wild statements of saying that he would want to be president, that he would, I'm going to run at some point. However, I definitely do not believe right now that regardless that he would win. You know what I mean? Like that the controversy is too. Look, I don't believe the white people are going to vote for the majority of white people would vote for him, period. And now he's lost, a significant portion of minorities. It's like I don't even see him making like some crazy noise because of that fact that like it doesn't matter how much he tries to play the game of, hey, I like Trump in hopes to, potentially get some Republican voters. They're still like, ninja, please. You know what I mean? Like that. It doesn't.
I see him in a room trying to talk at a table with everyone. He's like, shut up. I'm talking right now. Like, I just can't, like, the way he was on Harvey right now, he just totally told Harvey, are you asking me a question? He's going to say, man, are you asking me a question? I was like, whoa, calm down. Calm down. So I just can't, I don't know, maybe he can turn on, because obviously he can turn a genius on when he wants to. or maybe it's could be in a role he was playing today that he wanted to put out there, and then he leaves and he's back to his normal self. You don't know. Never know where he is.
But what you do know is that Yandi is coming, and
Black Friday.
he pushed it to Black Friday.
Black Friday? Wow.
Yeah, he said on TMZ that he wanted to drop it this Saturday, but he didn't finish. He's going to Africa to get some more beats, and he's going to get it going. And he wants to drop it on Black Friday so he can make a statement, because Black Friday is not just about blacks. It's some blah, blah, blah thing he did, but Black Friday is dropping.
Okay, fair enough. That's good. I can deal with that. Fresh, sticking with you, man. What'd you think of that C5, baby?
Me personally, I enjoyed it. I listened to it quite a few times. Of course, I had some of my top tracks that what is it? Uproar with Swiss, of course, is I mean, they already got an Uproar challenge going on. The Mona Lisa though with Kendrick.
That was hot.
That is like incredible to me. Like I'm a story rap enthusiast, right? And so to hear a good story is always awesome to me. But it was a very unique tale, and the way that they played it out was really dope to me. So I definitely while I did not enjoy every song, well, I won't say I didn't enjoy. I'm always hard pressed on, rapping singers where it's like, there are very few Drakes in my mind, where I don't think that by any means Lil Wayne is bad at it. It's just I personally have issues with having some rappers singing to me. I mean, really, at the end of the day, like there was one song I really was vibing with, but then I'm just like, but this dude is like singing to me. I can't, like, I got to go to the next one, period.
He did a lot of that on this album.
I was expecting more from this album. After so much time to remaster it and bring it back in and adjust it, I was like, okay, I mean.
You'll never, but see, that's why you'll never be able to, that's always the downfall. It's like almost a sophomore album where he's had so much time in between albums. Like there was so much anticipation.
Yeah.
This is something I've learned over time with trying to enjoy music, is getting out of the expectations and hoping that you're going to get the Carter 3 again, or you know what I mean? That it's, the way I looked at it was I looked at more like along like a Jay-Z's album last year. I looked at Eminem's album this year, where I'm looking at people who are in the game, have been in the game for quite some time. But then did I think it would be impactful, across the board generationally? And then also were his lyrics still like, I still felt Lil Wayne, but it still was, Lil Wayne has his fingerprints and footprints on so many of the new artists that are out now. And so I still felt that it still held with the relevancy and the wave of what's going on right now. So that's kind of what more so impressed me, that even though he stayed Lil Wayne to me, he still had what I know and what I saw, younger generation and younger cats still being, finding it dope. Like they still are talking about it, saying it was dope. And to see it compared to Eminem's album, where everybody is kind of up and down on Eminem's joint, in the sense of,
which one?
He went in there and smashed the latest one, Kamikaze. He went there and smashed it lyrically, and I'm not taking nothing away from it, but at the same time, it's like Eminem went in there angry and like, yo, I'm gonna tell all of y'all off and everything. Where it's and while it's not a bad album by any means, it's still like you feel that in that album. Whereas the C5 to me is like, it's still, Lil Wayne could have been a new artist coming out with this C5 album in a sense in this era, and he would have been the new Little, just like there are 1,000 Little whatevers now. You know what I mean? Like he would have came out and still been able to, oh wow, yeah, this new dude is like that. BJ disagrees, but it's all good.
I listened to the whole album that day it came out. Wasn't really feeling it. There's like one or two that like caught my attention, but I need to go back and listen to those 2 or 3 songs thoroughly. I'm gonna end my comment with the same thing. I'm quote my man Chris. It's no good or bad, no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. It just is what it is. It's new music that came out, and life's gonna keep on going.
I don't know, man. I think C5 was, I don't think it was all that it was hyped to be, but I think that it was kind of like, all right, let me get this one out. And then the next one, because I feel like he's warmed up. Dedication 6 was great as far as the punchlines and lyrical ability. I got a whole lot of that on C5, but in like it was like songs. So like he would kill it for certain songs, but it would be missing, or he would get into the singing mode. And I've never heard Wayne sing this much on an album that I can remember.
Why is he singing?
Because that's what Wayne does. He does. Like, I don't know why you guys are acting like Lollipop ain't a freaking love song, and like he hasn't had love song hits. Like, this is what Lil Wayne does. Like, that's what he brought. He's part of the Max B wave. That's what they brought, the singing auto tune. Like, you not remember he did a whole album. He did a whole album with T-Pain called it T-Wayne, where a lot of that album was them just singing an auto tune, baby. Like, don't forget that.
Yeah,
it's me though.
He sound a lot more like Drake or Black or.
But you gotta also realize he created those people. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you're not thinking about. Is like, no, they actually kind of sound like him, because you're not real. Like, yo, Lollipop and all that stuff was before Drake, was before Black, all of that. Like, that's what you're not thinking about. Is you go back and listen to all of that old Lil Wayne, and especially when he had in that Lollipop era, when he got into the T-Wayne era of using the auto tune and wanting to do all. He's got that what's that song? Teach You How to Love, and I'll teach you how to love. All of that stuff is all singing, hip hop infused. Like, yo, he started all of that way with Max B. Like, that is him. So when you say it sounds like Drake, no, Drake actually sounds like Lil Wayne stuff. He just sings better, can carry a better tune. I'm telling you.
I don't know, man. I think he did a whole lot on this album, and those 1 or 2 songs that you just named are across like a 5 or 6 year period. He got like 10 of them joints on his 20-track album. Yeah, you're not gonna say nothing. Hey, BJ, so you say you found the article, man. We want to come back to that.
Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, I looked up the I put it on mute that quick. So the case was the Gamble versus U.S. It's set to go to trial at the end of the month.
Hey, BJ, I'm sorry, y'all was calling for me to say something. Ghostface Killer got an album that comes out on the 5th.
Wu-Tang.
5th.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang. RZA.
That's all I got. I couldn't talk about none of that other stuff y'all were talking about.
Method. Magic.
What?
Go ahead, back to you, BJ, with the case. Gamble versus
Gamble versus the United States. So basically, the background of the case is Terrence Gamble, convicted of robbery in Alabama 2008, was pulled over in 2015 with a broken taillight. They found a gun in the car, so he went back to jail. The case is going to be tried it's coming up the Supreme Court for the double jeopardy. But if you look at all the implications of it, so it's not directly about that case. It's going to set a precedent for federal crimes versus state, being able to be pardoned or convicted of a crime at the state level, federal level, and then whether they're pardoned or not, to be able to be convicted at the state or press charges there. So I'm going to read this one directly because summarize it real quick. So basically, if it was to apply, it allows individuals pardoned for federal crimes to be charged for the same offense at the state level, a core principle of federalism. But Gamble is not directly related to the Trump case, but Special Counsel Robert Mueller investigation into President Trump's possible involvement with the Russia election interference could have implications for that case. Meaning, if they try at the federal case or he pardons, there's another one where he can pardon Manafort that was convicted on 8 felony counts back in August. That could set precedent now, and it's all about protecting people that's in that chain of command right there. It will set the precedent for other cases to be dropped or pardoned for him. Basically, if Kavanaugh gets on and votes in affirmative, the law goes into effect, can't be tried. So if President Trump pardoned Manafort from the August counts, then he cannot be tried in the state court as well. So they're trying to protect their own down the long run.
Okay.
And I started reading this yesterday, but again, I just had to go look it up to make sure I was quoting it right.
And this case comes to the Supreme Court when?
The end of this month.
The end of this month.
Yes.
Wow. See, and these are the big picture items that the smoke and mirrors and the eye show.
Yeah.
Now, I'll take it back. October 5th. It was. I heard it. I heard next month last week, but that was September going to October. The court will hear the case October 5th. By the time he's sworn in, he'll be
the 5 day or the 1 week. Do this FBI investigation now, so we can take care of it in a week.
Yep.
We can put them in time.
Right. So push him through, get it in. He'll be sworn in by the time they rule on it, so he'll be able to vote in affirmative.
Wow.
So a lot more of the political pull the wool over your eyes. Like, we're making it about this, but in the background, we got other plans for this anyway. So let's go on and get this out the way, get it confirmed. I mean, people want to point out Clarence Thomas. People want to point out that whole Anita Hill thing. Again, I'm not discredit right or wrong. That's not my place. But I see it as two separate things. But I say it's two totally different situations based on the intentions of the nomination. And that's all I got to say about that.
Like Carol said, man, this is why you have to get out and vote, get registered and get active.
October the 9th in Florida is the last day to register to vote, people. Sorry, for the November election. October 9th, next Tuesday. Last day in Florida. I'm not sure about all the other states.
Yo, if you think that you've already registered and you're good to go, it does not hurt to register it again. And there's websites all over the place now. And if you can link one to somewhere here in the description here, that'd be great. But yes, you got to go. Change your address, change your name, move apartments. All that matters. Registration, like it's the smallest detail that makes difference. So
we'll try to keep you from voting. Trust me.
Also say, go state that you're a Democrat or a Republican, even if you don't want to vote necessarily that way, because when you go independent, you wind up not being able to vote on some of the elections because you're not
only in the primary.
Only
in the primary.
Still, it all makes a difference.
Right. So when you voting in the primary, you got to make the designation. But regardless, at this point, primaries are out of the way. We just got to get you registered so you can go ahead and use your rights, man, and make sure that we write the shit while we can, when we can.
Facts.
Right.
And you may not be writing the ship. Just give the ship that chance to reach its destination.
Oh man. No.
Before we go on, I just clicked on. You can go to Google and literally type in register to vote, and it will give you all the steps. You click your state, and it'll tell you what to do, where to go, by mail, in person, everything. So it's quite simple to do.
Quite simple. Faison, I'm ready for you as well, sir. We haven't had a corner in a while, man, so I need that.
Man, I there's so much information to pour out. I don't even have a corner, but I will just say that
you got a block right now.
Yeah.
Just give us one of your stories from Jamaica, man.
Yeah, I'll give you one from Ace's birthday party. So we just had Ace just turned 1 last weekend. We had a huge throw out for him down here in Wayne, or up here in Wayne, depending on where you are. That party was from 6 p.m. to midnight. The boys were awake the entire time. It was insane. Lots of fun, lots of gifts, 2 car loads. Just insane, just fun. Your boy, of course, didn't work the whole time, didn't sit down. So it's a Sunday morning when you were like, hey, it's to the podcast. I was like, I can't move because my body was in such pain from moving the entire time. But it was just crazy, man. It was a wonderful time. And it was just a lot. There's just so much going on the last 3 weeks that I missed this. But I'm glad to be back here, man. It's fun. I miss you guys being able to be on here. And I made it to 1, so he's officially an adult now. I'm just kidding.
The way they was throwing money at him now. My dog got his college paid for.
Yeah.
One of those gifts was a car. The other one was an apartment. He's doing his own thing now.
Hey, yeah, by the time this comes out, it's too late. But happy Independence Day, Nigeria. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah, that is right. Today.
October the 1st. Funny story, my aunt was like, why are you going to work today? And I was like, what? She's like, it's a holiday.
Independence Day, boy.
I was like, I'm here. She's like, oh. I was like, goodbye.
That's for you.
So, yeah.
Hey man, we definitely got to shout out the other birthday, man. Coach K, you celebrated a birthday this weekend, man. Another year older. How was it, man? How's it feel?
It was cool, man. I went and helped some kids by building a playground in a Chicago school. So yeah, and then I flew back home to Florida. But it was cool, man. Just, you know, what was really interesting was the number of people sending me messages saying, "Oh, this is your year. This is the year that you're gonna break out. This is the year that you're going to show people who you are." And I was just like, man, like, that's crazy. Like, did y'all get together and plan this message? Like, because it just came from multiple people, man. So needless to say, the pressure is on. It's there.
You're bubbling, boy. They see you bubbling.
Yeah, you're gonna make it happen though. Does it feel any different? You know what I'm saying? Like, as you get older, and I guess that's just a general man question, because when I was younger, people always tell you, oh, once you hit 30, you know, it changes. 35, it changes. You know, now being over 40, does it feel much different now?
No, not at all. I woke up on my birthday feeling just like I did the day before. So
it's a mind thing, man. It's all in your mind, man. Easy.
It is what it is. Yeah, man.
There it is. DJ Barry, be fresh, man. We need that fresh in biz. What's going on?
Let's see. Today we are going to talk about networking. You know, it's a tool that I lack. I need to get stronger at. But networking can help you open a lot of possibilities, and there are many different ways to do networking. You can join networking groups, all that good stuff, but also being more active when you are out with, you know, your friends, your significant other, and in social events, networking, talking to people, being able to discuss what we call the 5-minute elevator pitch of what you do or what you're hoping to do in order to potentially get other people who can help you on that road to whatever you're hoping to accomplish. And so, network. Don't be scared to get out there, talk to some people, enjoy stuff, be what's going on. Don't be a black flamingo like me. Go ahead and, let your inner self out and go out there and experience the world. Let them know who you are and learn who they are in turn. Fresh in Biz this week. #1 Entrepreneur Ninja. We out.
How do you break the ice at a networking event? Because
take a hammer and you just hit it.
You just go for it. No, I mean, I've been to a few, and it's always weird starting that first conversation, and it's just mad awkward, and you know. Whatever.
I'll be honest. I'm horrible at it, and I mean it's really. But the funny thing is, it's really mind over matter. It's no different than breaking the ice with trying to talk to the opposite sex, right? Where it's a lot more about just the comfort and the ability to I think in having confidence in knowing what you do and what you plan to accomplish and what your goals are in order to be able to dictate them properly, as opposed to going in there nervous, being new at a job and not having the opportunity to really discuss and explain yourself properly. But also you have to go in there with an understanding, hey, everybody's there to network. So, don't be scared. Don't feel comfortable. Don't feel that you shouldn't go ahead and allow yourself to have a beverage in order to ease some of the tension. However, don't have so many beverages that you become obnoxious or an a-hole.
The bar is a great place to network. I've seen it happen firsthand. You're going to events, I'm assuming, and you sitting by similar people, so you'll get to talk to them. But when you get to the bar, or the after effect is when you really get to just hang out, chit chat about nothing. Then nothing turns to like conversation and business card exchange, LinkedIn profile exchange, whatever you want to do. But yeah, it's an environment where you break it. You just kind of relax. When you relax, it's easier.
Business is about relationships. People like to do business with people who they enjoy seeing or talking to or whatever. Even if that's in a small interaction at Publix when you're buying groceries, you prefer to go. When you see that cash register person who was, cool to you last time or gave you a smile, you prefer, as long as your line's short, to go down their aisle as opposed to somebody else's, as well as with, buying a car or a home or anything else. you like to do business with people who you enjoy or feel are good people. And so by taking out the element of being nervous and get more into a relaxed state, it allows you to create friendships, to create bonds, which then lead to business opportunities and the opportunities to potentially find out, hey, this is what I needed. And now, Bob, who I met at the bar that day, wow, it turns out Bob actually has a company that does that. And so it's, again, about leaving attention, going out there, doing networking, not being scared, and understanding that networking can happen anywhere from the pool to the penthouse.
Let's not forget, you got to make sure you do two things. You got to smell good, talk to somebody, and you got to look good. Looking good, leaving an impression is a very important factor. That first walking up to someone. And so, yeah, not you got to be flashy, but you can't be the guy in the oversized suit trying to talk to somebody because you're maybe even put in the category of a dud.
Sad.
Dang, Art. Well, all right.
I'm just networking. You gotta go get
that wasn't impression business.
What about that entry networker?
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't really
That's the only suit I have. Are you telling me not to do that?
This is my first time.
Go here and the suit doesn't feel right. Just wear the roll your sleeves up, wear the tie, and just
I was working with Jay Days and I lost weight.
Right.
A good look is about good confidence. It doesn't matter the wardrobe. So don't get caught up, like Art said, about have confidence, believe in yourself, and confidence carries you into a good look. Because there are plenty of people I've seen with wonderful clothes who are, they still look as opposed to there are plenty of people who have on not name brand. It's not the right size necessarily, but the way that they carry themselves and the confidence that they had still allowed them to execute what they needed to do. So I think it's more about the confidence and understanding of where you're going and what you want than it is about, being too caught up in saying that you need to have those great clothes.
I'm not saying, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you got to go out there and Fendi and Versace, but you got to look well.
All this is from the two flamingos in the group, though, right? So all this is
You like, don't come looking like a slob.
That's it.
He said you reckon classified as a dud.
Dude didn't even open his mouth. Just
Oh man, it's like 4 people are just gonna stay home.
Yo, they just slug back into their suit. Like, oh man.
Turtle.
Hey, try to shrink the suit. Just wash it. What you gotta do? Wash it on warm.
Yeah.
Coach K, you know what time it is, man. I gotta go to you so we can close this thing out.
Listen, man, I don't know how you want me to close out this hodgepodge of foolishness that we just went through, man. Everything from doggone Kanye to Kavanaugh to man, I don't even know. Just
C5, all
just
types
hot mess.
C5
But here's
hotness.
Here's what I'll tell y'all, man. Here's the takeaway from this. As long as you are holding on to that one thing that you will not take a chance on, you do not know how it will be received. So Kanye, look, he's being him. He's taking a chance. Look at his success. We can't say that he's not successful. Trump, you look back at his track record, bankruptcy, failed business. He is the president of the United States. So don't worry about that suit that's too big. You go out there and you take your chance because you never know who you're going to meet, who you're going to impact, who you'll inspire. Put that thing out there. Write that book. Put out that program that you want because you never know who it's going to impact. And if you don't put it out there, then we'll never know. And you may miss out on the opportunity to change. Listen, I'll say an individual, but it could be the world. And we wouldn't know if you don't take that chance. So just step out there and put it out there. Leave on empty.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for listening.
100% of the pitches you don't swing at, right?
All of them. Thank you for listening here with us on the 13th floor. But the furniture isn't always the best, but the views are amazing.
Hey, check us out on Vimeo. Any other thing that you want to see us out there on? We all over the
The
place. So make sure you check it out. We out
13th
here.
floor.
Recognize.
Like and smash
The 13th floor.